All right. How's everybody doing? Um, yeah, I'm doing some series of lives today because we got to get some important information out to a lot of people today. And I want to make sure everybody get a chance to get this information because I don't want people to say, "Well, I didn't know." I don't want you all to come back later on and say, "Well, why y'all didn't fill me in on this? And how come I didn't hear about, what's going on and everything?" well, we're here to tell you, and we're here to let everyone know about some things that we have going on over at MWR Financial Team Assurance USA and the 100 Strong. Now, if you don't know what the 100 Strong is, the information is right there on the side, kind of spells it out for you. But this particular live that I'm doing is to make people aware of how we plan on creating wealth for our members. How we plan on as a network having a worth of about 10 billion to $100 billion within 5 to 10 years. Now, I know a lot of people probably say, "Well, Calvin, that's just crazy. How do you gonna generate that type of wealth? How do you gonna generate that type of growth?" Well, private reserve banking, MWR, Financial Edge membership. That's how. Look, I've been talking about this for at least the last, 3 or 4 weeks now. Okay. And we've gotten quite a few people to come on and join, and they've already gotten their millionaire date, which means their financial experts have already given them their millionaire dates. That's right. We have people who have came on and joined on with us, and they've been joined on for less than 2 or 3 weeks, and they've already gotten their millionaire date. That's the date that they can stroke $1 million for, and not worry about missing it. Okay, so if you want to get your millionaire date, the date that you can actually stroke a check for $1 million and not miss it, you need to listen to what we are talking about here today. You need to get on board with private reserve banking and the MWR Financial Edge program. Now, first of all, MWR. Let me explain it to you all again. Um, for a very long time, individuals, wealthy individuals, have been taking advantage of something called private reserve banking, or as some people call it, privatized banking. Okay, that is a very real term. It is a very real thing. It's been private reserve bank accounts have been in existence since banks have been in existence. The problem is only the top 10 and 1% of the wealthiest people have known about it. Now, we all know that only 10% of the world's population is wealthy, and only 1% is independently wealthy. It's that 11% who have been given the opportunity to participate in private reserve banking. Now, and the other 90% or 89% of the world's population, they don't even know about it, especially here in the United States. You're not taught business schools. It's not talked about in your churches. You all don't belong to, golf clubs and yacht clubs to where you all get to hear about this stuff. But your bank has privatized banking. If you don't believe me, go ask them. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, even your credit union has privatized banking, has private reserve bank accounts. But they're not going to let you know about it because you don't have $1 million in their institution. Okay, those type of accounts traditionally in the past have been only available to individuals that have at least $1 million in their bank account, or they have a net worth of a certain amount of money, or they are earning more than $250,000 per year, and they are depositing in just regular deposits every quarter, somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $3 or $1,000 every quarter. Okay, so these are not strategies or banking products that you, the average person, have been exposed to. Okay, it's been kept from you, but the rich and wealthy, they know about it. Now, exactly what is privatized banking. Privatized banking or private reserve bank accounts or private reserve banking, that's a whole lot of different terms that they use, but it boils down to one thing. It is a bank account where your money is tied to the financial market gains and not the financial market losses. Now, we are all familiar with 401ks and IRAs and money market accounts and savings bonds and U.S. savings bonds and all this other stuff. All right, annuities. That's all fine and good, but it's not anything close to a private reserve banking account. Okay, the reason why is this: all of those things, including your regular bank account, okay, only gains a little bit of interest, and those ones that do gain quite a bit of interest, they are tied to the stock market. Okay, that's the difference between the actual stock market and financial markets. They are tied to the stock markets, which means when the stock market goes up, it makes money. When the stock market goes down, you lose money. And your 401k and all the other stuff, there is a potential chance that you could lose all your money. Okay, because it is tied directly to the stock markets. When it goes up, yes, you can make money, but when it goes down, you lose money. Take, for instance, about 16, 17 years ago, the stock market crashed, and a lot of people lost all of their 401k. That's why you have a lot of older people, elderly people now working at Walmart and going back to work at 65, 70, even 80 years old. You see them, they're out there trying to work. Now, these people are not, they're at Walmart working because they like to work or they're bored. They're retired. They don't want to be working. They're working because they have no choice. They lost their money. They lost their retirement because it was tied to a 401k, which was tied to the stock market, which crashed, and they lost all their money. Now, with private reserve banking, your money is not tied to the stock market. Your money is tied to only the financial market gains. And we all know that the financial markets move every single day. The NASDAQ right now is doing what it's like I think it's 12th straight day of gains. It reached an all-time high where it gained like 60-some points, 60-some percentage points. It went up here just recently after the election. That means people like me that have my money tied up in private reserve banking, we just made 60-some odd percent on our money. That's right. Our money grew by 60-some percent, not by a little 1.25% each year, because in that private reserve account, your money rises, the market gains. Now, what happens when the market starts to go down? Well, in the private reserve account, your money tapers off and does this. It goes into a rate lock. With every other type of account, your money starts to drop again if you have a 401k or anything like that. But with that private reserve account, it tapers off and it goes like this. It's riding along just like that. Stays stable. Then when the market starts going back up again, it starts to rise again with the markets. So as you can see, you have zero. Let me repeat this. With a private reserve bank account, you have zero risk of loss. You cannot lose money. You can only make money. Now, this is something that the wealthy have been privy to for a very, very, very long time. Now, how does this tie into you? Okay, if you watch some of my other videos, you already know that with private reserve banking, if you put $1,000 in, your money goes up with the market on day one. If it moves up 10%, you just made 10%, on your money. The next day it goes up 5%, you just made another 5% on the money you have, plus the 10% you made the day before. The money goes down. If the market goes down, your money, it tapers off, stays where it's at, and it goes back up, you're making more money. So you know that 70% of the time, the markets are on its way up. 30% of the time, the market is on its way down. So if we take 365 days out of the year, 7% of the time, 250 some odd days, your money is making money. On the time that the stock market is going down or the money market is going down, your money tapers off where it's at and waits for the market to start going back up again. And then it continues to go up and make more money. That's how it works. On top of that, there's some other great benefits. When you pull your money out of your 401k or any other type of account, what happens? Federal government taxes it. If you pull your money out of any other type of investment account, federal government's going to hit you for 30% off top. They're going to take 30% of your money right off top. before you even get a chance to even look at it hard. So you lose money. You don't have the liquidity. That's what it's called in banking terms. You don't have the liquidity in 401ks and other investment banking account as you have with private reserve bank. Because with private reserve bank, you're not drawing money out. It's considered borrowing money from yourself. So when you are borrowing this money, it is not considered you taking money out. So it's not taxable because it is a loan to yourself. And because it's a loan to yourself, you get to negotiate your own repayment terms. So whatever you're borrowing money for, house, cars, put your children through college, buy them a car, or just to put some extra $10,000, $20,000 in your pocket, federal government does not tax it because it's non-taxable, because it is a loan. And it's still money that's owed to you. So your balance in your private reserve account does not drop either. When you pull money out of anything else, like your bank account, if you got $100,000 in, you pull $10,000 out, you got a balance of $90,000. Not with a private reserve account. $100,000 in, you pull $10,000 out, your balance stays at $100,000. So that is money that's still on the books. So it's a debt owed back to yourself. Okay, so your money still stays where it's at, and it continues to ride the markets upward. That's another advantage. There are plenty more advantages. Another advantage is when you do borrow that money, you get to negotiate your own repayment terms, which basically means you get to set what you want to pay yourself back. Seriously, if you borrow $290,000 to purchase yourself a home, you go and pay for that home cash with that $29,000 you borrowed from your private reserve account. You now get the deed to that home. It's yours. You own it, free and clear. You have 100% equity the day you bought it. And because it's your own money, you get to negotiate and set your own terms of repayment. Well, your neighbors and everyone else might be paying, what's the average rate right now? 3.75% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, $290,000 home. By the time they finish paying for it, they paid almost $110,000 for it. You, on the other hand, with a private reserve account, you borrowed that $290,000 from your own private reserve account. You pay cash for the home. You get the deed for it. No chance of ever losing it to foreclosure or anything. Same thing with the cars. Works the same way. Then you set your own repayment terms. Instead of paying 3.25%, you could choose to pay that, and you can stretch yours out for 40 years, 45 years, or 50 years. You get a lower payment. Or you can set your rate where you want it at, 1.25%. And you're paying yourself back. So what does that mean? That means that your monthly payment for your $290,000 home could be as low as $600 per month, $700 per month, versus your neighbors who are paying $1,800, $1,900, $2,200, whatever they're paying for their home. And you're not going to pay $290,000 for your home by the time you're finished. Why? Because you get to collect the interest on the money you're paying yourself back. And so the interest money that you have made by collecting the interest on it, that money can go to offset what? The price of the home. So you really didn't pay $290,000 for the home. You only paid about $190,000 for the home, or $180,000 for the home. So not only do you get to pay yourself less money back than your neighbors are paying on their mortgage, you get to keep the interest that everyone else is paying to their mortgage company. But the rich know how to keep their money, don't they? They know how to make more money. But this is all stuff that's been going on since banking have been going on. But you were not privy to it because you were not wealthy. But that's in the past. Now with MWR Financial, you get all the benefits of a private reserve account, and you get your own team of financial experts. Your own team of financial experts, just like the wealthy do. Because when the wealthy goes into Wells Fargo or Bank of America, they don't go to the teller, they go to the elevator, and they go upstairs to the soundproof offices. They get to talk to their private banker. That's why it's called privatized banking. And they have their team of experts up there, their financial experts. You have a whole team of them that are up there that works with them, that works on their credit, works on their money, works on their equity, works on their taxes, works on building their wealth. That's what your team of financial experts do for you. And the same thing happens when you join the Financial Edge membership, which, by the way, is only $79.97 per month. Look, people, let's get real here for a second. You all know me, mostly, especially you all who live here in Tallahassee. You know me. You know that 10 years ago I was homeless. You know that. A lot of you all I work with, went to school with, my family members, you all know where I was 10 years ago. You know the difficulties I went through. You know the hard times that I endured. And you know that now I'm a self-made millionaire. Now, why is that? That's the real question. How did I go from homeless, to being a bona fide self-made millionaire? Beautiful home, beautiful cars, great life. I work here at home. I don't have to go to a job. I work right here at home, and my life is great. It's because I followed the advice of a young man named Brian N. Bean. Look him up. He's a wealth management strategist. He has a YouTube channel. Okay. Look up Brian, Brian, middle initial N, last name Bean, Beene. Mr. Bean, I started following him shortly after I became homeless on YouTube. And I started listening to him and I started taking his advice. And by implementing the things that he was talking about, it helped me to go from homeless to where I am now. And primarily the things that he was talking about with MWR Financial, because he is the national director for training for MWR on financials. A lot of these things that have been put in place by him, by them going out and reaching out to an investment banking firm, Cal Choice Financial. Cal Choice Financial, along with MWR Financial, are the first to offer privatized banking and your own team of financial experts to the general public, just like they have been traditionally available to the wealthy. But now you have the opportunity to take part in that too. The same thing, advantages that the wealthy have had for decades upon decades upon decades. Now you have an opportunity to have those same financial experts on your team, and you can take part in what? Privatized banking without having $1 million to deposit. You get to start where you're at. If you got $200, start with $200 in your privatized bank account. If you got $2,500, start with that. But whatever you start with, it's going to experience the gains of, on average, 500% more than a 401k, a money market account, and definitely more than a little bank account you got right now or your savings account that's paying you what, 1.25% interest each year. You put $1,000 in, and in a year you got $1,020. That's no money. Really? Come on, really? I'd much rather put $1,000 in than in a year I got about $10,000. That's money. That's growth. That's how you create wealth. You want it that way. Because you want that 500% gain versus that 1.25% gain on average. 500%. It gains 500% more than your average investment and average banking account. Now, this brings us to the question. What is the 100 Strong? Well, MWR Financial, our third-party logistics firm, which is the Assurance USA Corporation, we are all participating in the MWR Financial Edge product. It's a membership, $79.97 per month. That's a cup of coffee per day. With that membership, you get your own team of financial experts. They're going to work on your credit because you're going to send them your 3 credit bureaus, your 3 credit reports from Equifax, TransUnion, and TRW. They're going to work on repairing and restoring your credit, raising your credit scores 150 to 250 points. Gives you a high credit score, so that means your interest on everything comes down, puts more money in your pocket. You're also going to send them your last 2 paycheck stubs and your last 2 to 3 years tax returns. And they're going to go to work on that too. They're going to redo your W-4. They're going to send you a copy of the redid W-4 that's filled out correctly, right? And then you're going to turn that into your employer. And then very next week, on your very next paycheck, watch how your income is more, and it's going to stay more every month, every week from then on out. They're going to show you how to get more money back in your pocket instead of paying all out to 100%. Then you're also going to send them your, you're going to schedule a conference call, a consultation with your wealth management specialist. Now, that wealth management specialist is going to take all the money that they've shown you that they're saving you by increasing your paycheck, by decreasing your tax liability, putting more money in your pocket, by giving you better credit, getting your credit scores raised so you pay less interest on your mortgage, your car note, your insurance, all the things you pay for. Thus, you have more money. Then they're going to show you how to take that money and open up a private, an MWR private reserve bank account with Cal Choice Financial. And that's when your money is really going to start growing. That's when you're really going to get on the road to creating financial wealth. That's when you're going to have the advantages of being able to buy your cars, your homes, and things like that without your money going down and without you paying the price that everyone else is paying for those things by borrowing the money from yourself and repaying yourself back and collecting the interest on those things as well. This is how the wealthy has made money for decades. And now it's your turn. Now, what is the 100 Strong? The 100 Strong is a collection of everybody who has a Financial Edge membership. We are all coming together as a group. Our goal, first goal, is to get 1,000 members to join the 100 Strong. We're on Facebook and we are on LinkedIn. Once we have 1,000 members in the 100 Strong organization, then we're going to hold individual fundraisers. This means all 1,000 of us are going to have our own individual fundraisers. The fundraisers are going to last for 90 days. Now, in 90 days, you can raise some pretty good money from fundraisers. You can go out and wash cars, bake sales, fish fries, sell barbecue plates, just whatever. It's a fundraiser. Okay? 90-day fundraiser. If you wash cars every weekend for that 90 days, just on the weekends, you can come up with $1,000 per weekend, $500 a day, $500 on Friday, $500 on Saturday, $500 on Saturday, or $500 on Sunday. It's $1,000 every weekend. Now, with that being said, at the end of that 90-day fundraiser, every member is going to contribute $1,000 to the network's private reserve bank account. That gives us $1 million that's going into that private reserve account. Now, we're going to have 2 fundraisers per year. The first fundraiser, first 90 days, everyone contributes $1,000 to the central account, and that puts $1 million into the private reserve account. Now, knowing how the private reserve account moves upward with the markets, it's safe to say that $1 million is going to get us a very, very, very good return. The second part of that, on the second fundraiser that we have, we're going to take that $1,000. Everybody contributes $1,000. That's $1 million that's going into our land banking account. Now, the rest of the money you raise in your fundraiser, take that and you pump that into your own personal private reserve account and your own personal land banking account that you get through Cal Choice Financial, through with the Financial Edge membership. Now, we're doing this every single year. That means every year we're pumping into $1 million. We're pumping in $1 million into our central private reserve banking account. With that type of money being pumped into those private reserve accounts, within 5 to 10 years, we should easily have an account that has a worth of over $10 billion. Now, what does that do for us? For all 1,000 members? That gives us the freedom and the choice of participating in wealth, generational wealth. Because anytime we have a member that wants something or needs something, we just borrow the money from ourselves and we pay ourselves back. And we get to enjoy having a home that's paid for or cars that's paid for and living a lifestyle without even having to work, because we can borrow money to support our lifestyle. And we're just paying ourselves back. That's the power of the 100 Strong. That's the power of a private reserve bank account. That's the power of MWR Financial and the Financial Edge product. So if you think this is a good strategy, join us. Join us. I mean, come on. $97 and I'm sorry, $79, not even that much, $79.97 per month. If you're already a Financial Edge member, join the 100 Strong. Participate in our fundraisers. Help us to raise that $1 billion every year so that we can create generational wealth and financial wealth for all of us. So this is how you really create generational wealth. And we, MWR, our financial team, Assurance USA, we are taking it to the next level. Look, I can talk until I'm blue in the face, really. But the bottom line is you need real strategies to create wealth. I did it. Y'all see how I did. And it worked for me from a homeless shelter. So definitely it can work for you. So let's get together on this. Let's make this happen. Because this is real. It's real. This is not, I'm going to bless 100 people that send me their cash app. The first one to do that send me their cash app. It's nothing like that. This is real strategy. This is real wealth building strategies that the wealthy have been taking advantage of for a very long time. And now it's your turn. Hopefully you get on board with us. I have the links on here for the 100 Strong. We have a private chat group too that you can join. If you have questions or anything, join that private chat group. Ask questions. We'll answer whatever questions you have. Call me up. Give me a call. I'll answer your questions. So I'll put the toll-free number in this video or off to the side of it, so you always have our toll-free number, and you can reach me at any time. But, have a good life. Our members who have joined us already, they're on their way to having a great life. I want you all to have a great life too. I want you all to retire early. I mean, essentially, I'm essentially retired. I do this because I love it and because it makes me more money, obviously. So, but I don't have to get up and go to work every day. I don't do that. I don't get up and go to work at all. I sit right here in my beautiful home, in my backyard sometimes, on the deck out there. And this is how I'm living now. Because I took the steps and I acted upon the opportunity. Now you all have the knowledge, because I'm going to tell you, the only difference between the wealthy and everybody else is knowledge. And now you have the knowledge. All you got to do is take the actions. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you all on the other side. Bye, everybody.